friends. Today we're going to be talking about volume, cubes, and cube roots. Not the kind of volume like cranking up your music. Like pump up the volume. This is a different kind of volume. Please turn to page 39 in your packet, your 3/8 packet, and please take notes and follow along as we're going through the packet together. Today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be interpreting, solving, and simplifying the cube of a number and determining the cube root of a perfect cube. When we say perfect cube, we mean that a number that goes in there evenly. So we're going to basically find the cubes and the cube roots. Let's look at this example. It says, find the volume of a cube you built with edge lengths of 2 units each. It says, find the volume in exponential form and in cubic units. Well, we know from all of our Math Genius workings that volume is length times width times height. And we know if it's a cube, that means how many of the sides are equal. Can't fool you. All the sides are equal. So to find the volume in exponential form, we have 2 times 2 times 2. Length times width times height. And you've been doing that for many, many years. But basically, if we combine that, we could say 2 to the third power, or 2 cubed. Remember, when you had a 2 with a 2 next to it, that means 2 squared. And this is 2 cubed, right? The little exponential number of 3 there. So if I multiply 2 times 2 times 2, the volume of this cube, 2 cubed, is 8 cubic units. And this is basically solving for that. 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 equals 8. All right, let's keep on moving. I knew you'd get that part. I'm over on page 40. And we're just going to calculate a few of these. We're going to complete this table to show the volume, meaning the cube of a number. So we're going to write it in both finding the volume and the exponential form, and then we're going to solve it. So for the first one, like the one example we just did, 2, the calculation for that is 2 times 2 times 2. The exponential form is 2 to the third power because we have 3 2's. And to solve that, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Our answer is 8. Let's do 4. 4 times 4 times 4, volume equals length times width times height. In exponential form, it's 4 to the third power, which means we have 3 4's. 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. I see a pattern. Let's do 5. 5 times 5 times 5 means 5 cubed, or 5 to the third power. And if I multiply 5 times 5, I get 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Let's do 6. 6 times 6 times 6, or 6 cubed. I could also say 6 to the third power. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 times 6, 216. I bet you could do 8. 8 times 8 times 8. 8 cubed. 512. 8 times 8 is 64, times 8 is 512. 8 cubed, or 8 to the third power. An exponential form is exactly the way it sounds. It's got an exponent. Let's do 9. 9 times 9 times 9. 9 cubed, or 9 to the third power. 9 times 9 is 81, times 9 is 1,241. I think you're getting the hang of it, right? I knew you would. Let's stay on page 40. We're going to go ahead and put a star by that math term right there, the index 3 in the radical sign. Remember, that was one of the questions off your last quiz. Radical sign has a 3 in it. So this is like the square root sign, but we call it a radical sign, but it's got a 3 in it. That means the cube root of 8. That means a number times a number times a number equals 8. And they have to be the same number. Like 2 times 2 times 2. It's important to understand the radical sign is this little like crazy looking division sign, and whatever you have in here is the root. Sometimes you'll see a square root, sometimes you'll see a cube root. All right, let's try these ones. 3 cubed is what? 3 times 3 times 3, or 27. When I say peanut butter, I want you to press pause and work out B, C, and D. Yes, it's okay to use a calculator for these. Peanut butter! Welcome back. I hope you hit pause there and work those out. B, 11 times 11 times 11. Did you get 343? I bet you did. Oh, I'm sorry. 7 times 7 times 7 is 343. I thought that seemed low. Answer C, 11 times 11 times 11 is 1,331. And 1.5 times 1.5 times 1.5, 3.375. Or if you're a smart math person, 3 and 375 thousandths. Let's look at example C. The volumes of 4 cubes are given. Find the length of each edge in units. Well, what 3 numbers multiplied together will give you 1? 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. You should get used to this one. You'll see it all the time. 8. What number times the number times itself equals 8? Well, 2. 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. How about this one? You're right. 3. 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. And 4. Because 4 times 4 times 4 is 16. Or 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64. This way you're going forward, multiplying, and this way you got to think of the number that multiplies to give you this number. So 1 cubed, 1. 2 cubed, or to the third power, 8. 3 cubed, or 3 to the third power, 27. 4 cubed, or 4 to the third power, 64. The side leg, remember I said remember 2? 2 to the third power, that volume has to be 8, right? And if you're paying attention on the last page, some of these numbers you'll see all the time. What's 27? If the whole volume is 27, the side length has to be 3. Guess this one? 4, because 4 times 4 times 4, or 4 cubed, equals 64. 125, 5. Anybody know what 9 times 9 times 9 is? How about 729? And 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. So here's one where they're giving you any number. N, it could be an X, could be a Z, but this is just a variable, right? So if the side length is N, the volume of the cube is N times N times N, or N cubed. N cubed. Let's check our understanding a little bit. When I say peanut butter, I want you to solve, do 1 through 5. It may take you a couple minutes. And this top part, you're simplifying these expressions. So you're multiplying, right? Finding the answer. This one, you got to figure out what number times itself equals that. And then go ahead and figure out this table right here. Peanut butter! Welcome back. I'm guessing you worked through those, and I bet you're going to get all 5 right. 5.1 times 5.1 times 5.1, 132.651. And this one, what number times itself equals 1,728? 12. So 12 times 12 times 12 equals 1,728. Little fraction multiplication, right? 1 over 64, that's 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4. And 20 cubed, or 20 to the third power, 8,000. Let's look here. They give us the volume. You got to figure out the length. So what number times itself equals 216? 6. 6 times 6 times 6. How about this one? 7 times 7 times 7 equals 343. So the length of each side, 6 here, 7 here. Can you get the next one? 9. 9 times 9 is 81. 81 times 9, 729. And 10. 10 times 10 times 10, 1,000 feet cubed. All right, we're going to move on to another section, talking about exponents a little bit. We're going to simplify expressions, and they're going to have powers and roots. And we're going to follow the order of operations to simplify expressions. Simplify is another word for solve. Solve. Now, we've talked about a number squared. 3 squared means 3 times 3, right? We've talked about a number cubed. So 4 to the 3rd power, 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4. Well, now we're getting some crazy powers. This one wants us to simplify 2.4 to the 5th power. That means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of that number. And of course, when the numbers start getting real big, I start using a calculator, right? Can't do this one in your head. 2.4 times 2.4 times 2.4 times 2.4 times 2.4. 79.62624. That is what 2.4 times 2.4 times 2.4 times 2.4 times 2.4 equals. Whatever this number is. So remember, I'm all about that base, Here's the base, and the exponent tells you how many times you need to multiply this number by itself. Base, exponent. I'm all about that base. And think about that. The base is like the bottom, right? The big whole number that we're talking about. All right. When I say peanut butter, I want you to work through these. If you can do these, you'll do great. I'll do the first one with you. So 4.5 to the 3rd power. That means 4.5 times 4.5 times 4.5. And when I do that, I get 91.925. Ready? Peanut butter! Welcome back. Hope you had fun. Let's see how you did. 2.1 times 2.1 times 2.1 times 2.1. And that equals 19.4481. We love fractions. 4/5 times 4/5 times 4/5. 64 over 125. Remember, you're multiplying straight across. This one, I hope you didn't get tricked. You had to make an improper fraction to multiply those, right? I knew you didn't get tricked. 3 halves times 3 halves times 3 halves times 3 halves equals 81 over 16. And here's a big one. 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3. Whew. 32 over 243. All right. Last one. When I say peanut butter, solve these two. You get these two right. Go ahead and take the quiz, knock the homework out, work on your IXL. You got it. Peanut butter! Welcome back. 2 to the 6th power is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. I think I said enough 2's. 2 to the 6th power. 6 2's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 64. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. Times 2 is 32. Times 2 is 64. That's almost as old as Mr. Curry. Number 2, 1.7 times 1.7 times 1.7 times 1.7. And you get 8.3521. I know. So easy. You got it. If not, ask questions. This is great stuff. You're doing awesome. Keep it up. Peace, homework, love, quiz.